But I got a little history in this, and by the way, nobody told me, nobody talked me into anything. God put it in me. Listen, I thought you just got done telling me that you are all in agreement with Jesus, but yet every time I bring him up, you mock him. Wow, what a hypocrite. Now let me go on, guys. Now, I want to talk heart to heart, but I want you to understand what's going on. Did you guys know that in public schools today, there's it's called the NEA, the National Education Association? Do you know that they came up with a program? They want a caucus, it's called the Homosexual Caucus. Okay? That wasn't good enough, so they came up with something called a drag queen caucus in public schools today in this country. Did you also know that President Barack Hussein Obama, right? Did you know that he appointed none other than Kevin Jennings to the Safe Schools on Public Schools in America? Did you know that he wrote a foreword to a book called Clearing the Elementary? Did you also know that Harry Hay is his icon? He loves Harry Hay. He is the icon for an organization called North American Man-Boy Love Association, NAMBLA. Did you know that their slogan during gay pride parades is sex before it's too late? Did you also know that Barack Hussein Obama has appointed over 225 radical homosexuals and transvestites to governmental positions in your country? Hey guys? Okay. You also know that Alina Kagan was appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, who's known for clearing and clarifying the Harvard School. She's also known for attacking our military. Good, I'm glad you do. I appreciate that. And I also want you to understand that Brian Grender, listen carefully, come on, let's be fair. Brian Grender, a reporter for the Boston Globe, did an ICE investigation, and they found that over 5,000 members of the Defense Department of the United States of America were busted downloading child pornography. 5,000 members. You guys all know who Barney Franks is, right? Barney Franks? You guys all know who Barney Franks is, right? Barney Franks was the guy that admitted in 1989 that his apartment was used for a homosexual prostitution ring. He's also the man that was indicted in 1998 concerning a young boy named Paul Benassi who came forward and said that he was flown into his house in Massachusetts and sodomized from the ages of 11 to 13 years old. Did you guys know that? I didn't think so.
Get your facts straight.
I got them straight, sister. Let me tell you. And I guarantee you. Folks, did you also know, I'm just going to go on here. You guys all know who Dan Savage is? Dan Savage, it gets better. He was appointed by Barack Hussein Obama as well. Did you guys know that he appointed none other than Dan Savage? Dan Savage is the radical homosexual that goes into school assemblies now, and he talks about how the Bible's nothing but a bunch of BS. And then what happens is all these kids stand up and walk out of there, but what they wanted in the state-controlled media gets in there and they want you to believe everybody stayed and hoorah him, when in fact he didn't. Did you also know that Dan Savage is known for licking doorknobs because he wants his political opposition to get sick? This is a fact. Did you also know, friends, Dan Savage, appointed by the President of the United States, he wants all of his political opposition to be pulled behind a pickup until there's nothing left but the road.
What about all the good things?
That's what you're up against.
What about all the good
Kevin
things?
Jennings, the founder of the GLSEN, he said that bullying was nothing more than the gay lifestyle. It was the affirmation. In other words, they play the victim while they perpetuate the crime. They have the shield, but they have the spear in the other hand. Now, just to prove my point, I want you all to understand this, just to prove my point as to where this is going and where they want it to go, do keep in mind that we've all heard about homosexual marriage. Never in the history of mankind.
What? Greece? Are you...
Go to Canada with me for a moment. Do you know what they did there? The first thing the radical homosexuals did, when they had their way, they got their way, you know what they did? They attacked the church. They told the church that they need to marry everybody that they say, and if you don't, then we're just going to take away your status. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? That wasn't good enough for the radical homosexuals in Canada. You know what they did secondly? They wanted to make sure that all homeschoolers no longer taught their kids that homosexuality is an abomination. not sin, an abomination. Just so you know. Okay? And the third thing, that wasn't good enough. So the radicals, they said that we want to lower the age of anal consent from 16 years old to 14 years old. What does that have to do with marriage? Come on, friends, let's call it for what it is. Hey, what's happening today in America? They're attempting to shut down anybody that speaks out against who they are. And if they can't do that, you know what they'll do? They'll just put words in your mouth. I'll give you a case in point. I'll give you a case in point. Everybody back there that can hear me, I'm just going to keep talking. You guys good? Okay, cool. A couple of years back, I actually went in and did some live radio of the Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C. At that particular time in America, I want you guys to understand, I was warning the homosexual. This is right at the initiation. This is at the initial stages of understanding the irrationality of what you are going to set yourself up to deal with, because there's no dealing with it whatsoever, as you can see. None. Zero. No rationality. But what I did is I said the Muslims were calling for the execution of the homosexuals in America. You know what Rachel Maddow did from MSNBC? She omitted a minute of my radio show, take the two ends together, and tried to make it sound like I was the one calling for the execution of the gays in America. Now, she did it once, and what she did is at the very end of it, just to show you that if they don't catch you saying it, they'll attempt to put words